Welcome to Whips in the Dungeon 101.28. Today we're going to talk about safe, sane, and consensual versus risk-aware consensual kink play. We love acronyms, so you may hear these referred to as SSC or RACK or RAC. So we talk about a signal whip first. An unmodified signal whip has a cracker that can't be changed out. So really this is all about safety for the whip bottom. And when we play with a whip that has a cracker that can't be changed out, the cracker's made out of porous material. There's no real way in a dungeon or even outside of a dungeon that I know of to be able to take a porous material and make sure that it's absolutely clean unless it's brand new. Well, once you've used it, then what do you do with it? Well, safe, sane, and consensual play would say that whip and that cracker only gets used on one whip catcher. And so if you're a master and you or a top and you have only one whip catcher you're throwing with, that can be their whip. I know a lot of whip bottoms that like blood play or like real heavy play, and they actually have their own whips in their own bottom toy bag or submissive toy bag, and they use those whips when they play. Another approach though to this, because that gets real expensive, you take a $300 or $400 whip and it can only be used on one person, is to modify that cracker. In a previous video I showed you two different ways of modifying a signal whip cracker where that cracker can be changed out and a new cracker can be put on the whip. And then that makes those signal whips the same as a snake or a bull whip, and that snake and bull whips have crackers that can easily be changed out. So how are we going to approach safe, sane, and consensual play with a cracker that can easily be changed out? It's very simple. We show up in the dungeon with a passel of crackers. We play with a whip catcher during a scene, and that cracker comes off and we put a brand new cracker on before we play again. And because it's a brand new cracker, we know that it's completely safe, and so we can say that's safe, sane, and consensual play. Now if you watched my Cracker Rockstar video, I like to do multiple scenes in a night, and I like to use a specialty cracker that takes quite a little bit of time to make. So as I pull my crackers off, if I know I'm going to play with that whip bottom again, I'll take a Ziploc bag, put their name on it, and save those crackers to reuse on them. Just my play style, I throw with a whip for one song, I throw with a different whip for another song, and so most of these brand new crackers only have one song of use on them, and I like to save those for the next time I play with that whip bottom. So using a brand new cracker allows you to keep safe, sane, and consensual. But you know, there's some lazy tops out there. Sometimes I get lazy. When I go to a convention and I'm going to throw over a 3-day weekend, and maybe I throw 4 or 5 scenes a night, and I throw with 4 or 5 whips in every scene, the multiplication factor kicks in, and I might end up using 300 crackers in a weekend if I'm using a brand new one every time. So how can we transition from safe, sane, and consensual play over to risk-aware consensual kink? Well, what I'm going to propose for rack play is if I accidentally cut a submissive and this cracker becomes contaminated with bloodborne pathogens, or I'm playing erotically and it becomes contaminated with bodily fluids, then I'm going to take that cracker off and I'm going to give it to the whip bottom that I'm playing with. But if I play a successful scene and there hasn't been any cuts, no noticeable bloodborne pathogen or bodily fluids on a cracker, that cracker's just a little bit dirty because it came in skin contact, then for rack play, I'm going to take that cracker and I'm going to clean it with what I call a hospital grade sterile cold sterilant. And the example I'm going to use today is PDI Super Santa Claus. But this type of a sterilant or cleaner comes in a variety of forms and brands. Cavicide is a well-known brand, a well-popular brand, and then as time has passed, more and more products have come out. I'm going to tell you to read the label. Here, this Virex TB, I had never heard about it, but when I read the label, it's a ready-to-use disinfectant cleaner. It meets OSHA bloodborne pathogen standards for HPV and HIV. It's a tuberculoside, virucide, fungicide. It kills TB and Hep B and C. So if you read the label and it kills everything known to man, it's probably what you're looking for. So most of those types of cleaners are designed to clean on hard surfaces. Remember, this is a porous surface, and it's really not designed to be done to do with it what we're going to do with it. But we're going to clean this with Cavicide or PDI Super Santa Wife. It has a 3 to 5 minute processing time. Again, read the label. Once it's processed, then you're going to clean that off with rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Okay, and for risk-aware consensual kink play, at that point we're going to call that cracker clean, and I could play with another whip catcher with it, as long as the whip catcher's in agreement that they're comfortable playing with that. So then I can do rack play over the course of a convention or a weekend and play with a whole bunch of people and not have to take 300 Lady Sally crackers with me. That's it for today, comparing SSC and rack, and everybody has their own opinions on those, but I've given you mine today. Today's keyword is kangaroo.